Well, hello and happy birthday, Scorpio. I bet you're wondering why I have these glasses on today. As I started to really look at them and see myself in them, I thought, I don't really know if this is my um, look because they just seem so black and white. They seem dark and they seem like they're just going to focus in on something and not see it any other way. And then I started thinking about it and I started wondering if this is how a Scorpio feels. You know, they're given such a strong Plutonic and Mars energy. And you guys know, you Scorpios out there, that you are the eagle eyes and you are able to see beneath the surface. In fact, your ability sometimes, not sometimes, you see the flaws, you see the vulnerabilities, you see if people are real or not. You see all of those things. Now, you may not say or do anything about them at the time, but they are noted. And depending on your motivation, depending on your intention, will be how that situation gets addressed within yourself. Now, if I were to ask you to take these glasses off, what would happen? What would happen if you weren't able to hide behind these glasses? It would be pretty vulnerable, wouldn't it? In fact, you can see right now, I'm showing everything. I'm not hiding behind anything. I don't even really have that much makeup on. And yet, it's hard for me too. But for you guys, this has been your identity. This has been your world. And, right now, in our day and age, with Saturn and Scorpio, he is taking no prisoners. And all of us in this period of time that we're in, that really started in the last few months throughout the summer, this water trine has been building. So many amazing things have happened for us. But during this Mercury and Scorpio retrograde, I think for many of us, we saw some things we never thought we'd see. Some things may have come up to the surface in your life you thought would never come to the surface. And because Scorpio has the ability to see into the underworld, there's two types of Scorpio. Some say there's three, and maybe there is three different transitions of your life. Because your life is filled with this Plutonic energy. Pluto is a small moving planet, dark, and he plummets down, and then he rises again, and he plummets down, and he rises again. But when he plummets down, sometimes he plummets to the darkest places, to the most painful places, because he deals with truth in a way that very few people will ever be able to look at. And that might even be why, a Scorpio struggles a lot of times feeling rejected and feeling like they have a hard time in groups or fitting in, because you're almost like the prophet. You have the ability to see what's coming. You have the ability to see the flaws. And it doesn't take you much. They just appear in front of you, and that's when you're wearing these glasses. The thing about it is why is Saturn so difficult in Scorpio for Scorpios? Because we know, take these off, because we know you guys are getting your butts kicked. And I don't say that lightly, and I'm not making fun of it, because I have been myself. I have Scorpio in the 8th house. I'm Pisces rising, but Scorpio did fall into my 8th house. And the last 3 weeks for me have been so intense and has brought up so many things from my past, Mercury retrograde, and Scorpio, to really just take the lid off of the darkest places in my life that I never thought I'd even look at again. I was going to never look at again. They were too painful for even me. And I just was going to move forward. And when you have very painful things in your life, all of a sudden come to the surface. You're sitting here one day. This is how transit works for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'll be sitting here one day and I'll start thinking about something I haven't thought about in 15 years or I haven't thought about in a long time because it's painful. I couldn't do anything about it at the time. I couldn't really heal properly. You know, when you have a wound, let's say you are a very wounded 11-year-old. Something happened at 11. It was very painful. If you don't know how to get through that, or you're never able to really get through that, especially as a child, we don't know how to get through those things. And at that point, our parents don't always even know how to help us. You will look at that situation for the rest of your life through the eyes of an 11-year-old. And you could be older and still see through those eyes because you never got closure, you never got resolution, you never got healing. So now you're 12 and there's another painful event, and now you're 13 and now you're 14 and now you're 18 and now you're 22, and pretty soon you start getting a collection of these things. Now, for some people, they just have a certain energy about them that's very light and more superficial. Like anything heavy, they're just like, I don't even want to get near it. So they avoid all situations in life. But for myself, being that I have Scorpio in the 8th house and Neptune in Scorpio, that generation, I've never been able to avoid the knowing. In the 8th house is such a powerful place, and people sometimes underestimate me because I come off, you know, I'm a Virgo, Pisces, Libra, Leo. I mean, doesn't that sound great? I mean, it sounds great. Now put Neptune, Scorpio, in the 8th house in Scorpio. And now you have somebody from a very little girl, which I was, that could see the family dynamics, the things around me through the eyes of a Scorpio. But because I didn't have my outer planets, my outer personality, when I find my truth, whether it hurts me or not, I'm able, if I use my energies properly, to take my pain and my hurt and bring it through my art as a Pisces moon and rising. Bring it through my art with all my other planets. So many people wouldn't know what I've experienced in life, but I have experienced the plutonic ups and downs. And because I am a Pisces, I've been a guiding light for a lot of Scorpios in their life, or people who have strong Scorpio planets, not knowing that. I didn't know that at the time. I just kind of wondered why everybody I know has strong Scorpio thread. And, you know, I'm trying to tread lightly, you know, because you have to. You have to really watch how you're communicating and to not shut down that person. And it's like you almost have to be able to think like them to know how to work in that realm. So I want to use today, I used a little analogy with my glasses, okay, the black and white glasses. Now I want to use another analogy. I want to talk to you guys about these transits that are going on right now as we speak, okay? So I am going to be talking about this month of November 2013 for all Scorpios, all right? And all of you that this will be for everyone. You guys, everyone will need to know this information. But Scorpios right now are in the limelight, which they hate to be. Let's just face it. I mean, if you have something that's hidden and you've been, you know, feeding it, looking at it, hiding it, there's a comfort in that for Scorpios because it's just in their nature to want to hide things. You know, my little guy, he has a Venus in Scorpio. Okay, my 2.5-year-old. And there was a little hole in the wall. Just, you know how like when you open the door and it goes through? You know, one of those things happened and there was a little hole. He's obsessed with the little hole. What's in the little hole? Is there little monsters in the hole? Is something in the hole? He wants to put things in the hole, a little secret spot. He's constantly looking for these little secret spots. So it's in your nature, you know? So it's in your nature. So I let him have a little hole. I mean, if he wants a little hole and he wants a little secret spot, it's a healthy thing. There's nothing wrong with that because you are the secret keepers of the universe. You are able to go into the underbelly where few of us will tread and look and see and investigate and check it out. What a powerful gift you've been given. And not be scared. Now, Pisces, we're more of the spiritual. We want to see the angels. We want to see the Pegasus. We want to see the unicorns. We want to see Jesus. We want to see the clouds, the horses coming in, whatever. We want to see the light. But Scorpios can be afraid of the light because they're comfortable in understanding the darkness. Because the light, once you've seen the darkness, the light has a different definition. And we don't always know what to do with that contrast. And unfortunately, what's happening right now for all Scorpios, and I want to try to help you guys through this if I can. That's all I can do. My heart has just been building with this message for you guys for the last few weeks. I really just couldn't open my mouth until after Mercury retrograde. I was going through my own stuff, and I felt like I needed to really go through it, because otherwise I would have been going through it, trying to tell you how to go through it, and I didn't know how to go through it. Well, I'm kind of on the other side now of some things, and I'm hoping that I can help you a little bit, because that's helping me. Okay, so that's where I'm at with it. So let's talk about Saturn, Scorpio. So I'm going to use a little prop. I have my little prop. It's a little jar, and here's a lid, and oh, there's something in it. What is it? It's a beautiful little rock, and it's just something valuable. It's something I value. It's a little crystal rock. Okay, that's on my property that I found, and it looks like an elephant, so I really liked it. But anyway, when Scorpio came into Saturn, and Saturn moved into Scorpio, because it's such a powerful energy, it takes no prisoners, and it deals with truth. Even Scorpios now have to deal with not everybody else's truth that they know about, but their own truth. A lot of times when you have eyes to see everybody else's truth, it's really hard to ever see your own truth, because you can't imagine that you could possibly have the same problems as the people you see. They're vulnerable. You're not. You would never put yourself out there. So that is just so uncomfortable for you. So there's got to be something wrong with those people, right? I mean, that's the energy you've been given. It's very strong, and very few people are really ever able to give you words of wisdom, because you really kind of have your own and you know the truth. But where things get complicated is because you do feel the depth of things, and you do have to live in this body, and you do have to live in the world, and you do have to live in society. You have to be able to participate and use your gifts. You're not a lone ranger. And you're not living in a dark castle all by yourself on an island somewhere. You have to be in our world. And to be in our world, we need you. But we have to get all of our minds healthy to go into this next transition. But more importantly for Scorpios, because of some coming transits we'll talk about. Saturn and Scorpio. Saturn came in, and he's slowly removing the lid of the pain and the hurts and all the things you value that you've kept down in your secret jar. Now, Scorpio, we know, and Saturn is a 2.5-year transit. Thank God, even though we don't like it. Thank God it takes him 2.5 years to slowly unfold and unravel the mess we've made from the last 29 years, okay? So he's opening the lid slowly, and at some point in this transit, for all Scorpios, the lid will come off. Oh, I feel you guys right now. Oh, because this is your secret. This is your identity. This is your comfort. Because of the hurt you've suffered, because of the pain you've suffered, you've got to have something that's your own. And it's in there. And it's all your own little hurts and all your own little wounds and things and collections of your life. Whatever's in there. I don't know what's in there for you. You only know what's in there. But this Saturn transit, take the lid off, and when the lid comes off, guess what happens? The light shines in there. I can see down in there now. The world can see in there now. And it's very devastating for a Scorpio, because the light, the lid being lifted off your dark places, and you can't hide. You can't slither in your hole and hide where you're comfortable. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that, we know that Scorpios like to stay in the background. Now the light has been shining on me. With Mercury in retrograde that we've had the last 3 weeks, we're just moving forward. This has been the most intense Mercury in retrograde because it is trining with Jupiter in Cancer and Lilith in Cancer. Now I follow the Lilith because I have noticed in following it for several years that if you look at Lilith in a chart, if you can find Lilith in a chart, it will represent the theme for the next 9 months. And being that it's been in Cancer, it represents the mother. It represents family. It represents your home life. It represents things dear to you. And so the things that are coming up, because you have to know where Jupiter is, he's in Cancer, is all about deep personal family issues, which can be the hardest wounds we've ever experienced. It takes us a long time to really understand our family dynamics and grow from them. And in this jar is in this jar is the things that are in your heart, good or bad. But the problem is when the light gets shined on, the Scorpio's first instinct is to reach in the jar and try to get it out and move it to a new location where there's no light. So they reach in the jar and they go to pull it out. But because they're angry or because they're wounded and they're not healed yet from this, it's still just festering in this jar with no way out, no closure. They can't get it out. And now they're caught red-handed. What are you going to do? Not only is the light shined on it, you're caught with your hand in the cookie jar, right? So there is an answer. There is an answer, you guys. You got to let go of it. Let go of it. Put it back in the jar. Keep your hand out. Now, when a Scorpio is using their beautiful water energy and their artistic ability, and they're not holding in their anger up in their necks, when they're using their energy, their hands are like little willows. Have you ever seen a Scorpio play the piano or the violin or a musical instrument? I mean, it's just like watching water hands. And it's a beautiful thing. Now, if a Scorpio lives carrying the resentments, though, their hands will start to shrivel. So, look at your hands, look at your neck, feel your body. Where are you at? Where are you holding this pain in your body? Because it will come out. And it will come out through toxicity, which we know can create sickness, can create illnesses, can create mental problems. All those things are from holding in toxicity, you guys. And I'm talking to you from my experience of my own toxicity. I'm not coming from a place that I don't know what you're talking about. With Scorpio in the 8th house, I feel the Plutonic energy as strong as the moon in Scorpio does. It just doesn't come out in my outer planets as easily. You'd have to really get to know me to know that side of me. You'd have to know me intimately to know how deep I can go in a conversation. You guys see a part of me. But if you really knew me, you would know that I'm, have that Plutonic energy in the 8th house. So how are we going to get this out? Because the universe is asking for it. The universe isn't going to accept less, and he's taking no prisoners through Saturn and Scorpio. So you need to put your hand out, okay? Relax it. Relax it. It's okay. It's going to be okay. I want to get emotional for you guys right now because I just don't like to see people suffer. And I know that there's a lot of suffering going on right now. So here's your hand. Let it go. Here's how you're going to get that out. Let it out and put it in your hand. Put it in your hand. Now you still have a connection to it. You're not looking at it through the eyes of somebody that's wounded. Now you're going to bring this into the light. I know it's scary. Bring it into the light. Just bring it into the light. Isn't that pretty? It's really not so bad. See, it looks like a little elephant. This side looks like a little frog. Like a little frog. Okay? It's not so bad, you guys. We all have this. We all have this. We all have these. It's just you guys hold on to them so tight and become a part of them. And it is affecting you deeply right now. The universe is calling you guys to let go. Now, what are the answers? How do you resolve? How do you make amends? How do you do what you know you need to do right now to get right with your relationships, to get right with the people around you, to get right with people? Because you're not going to be able to go forward into this next transit if you're not right in your mind. This is about survival of the mind now. And you know the word survival. You know what that means. You are a warrior. But your type of survival is so self-preservation. And you have to understand that we need you now. We need you. We need you to guide us. We need you to guide those of us like me who are vulnerable. I need Scorpios around me, wise Scorpios, to say, watch out for that. Ooh, that I don't feel good about that, because I'll walk right into it. Just thinking, just dreamy-eyed and thinking that it's great, because I don't see those things like you do first. I feel them later when I'm alone. And I go, why am I feeling funny? Because that 8th house starts getting activated, but I don't know why. You know why. I don't know why. I can't imagine why, because I can't figure out how people think like that, because I don't think like that. You know why people think like that. You know people's intentions. It's no longer about judging them. It's no longer about knowing that you know, so you're so good because you know. It's not enough to know anymore. It's not enough to just know and sit back and know. You got to help those people. You got to look at those people in your life that you've been sitting back with black and white glasses on. Take them off. Let us see your eyes. Let us see your heart. Guide us. Encourage us. Give us the wisdom we need. Be a part of this movement. None of us are going to be lone rangers. None of us are going to be able to be alone, because here's the deal, guys. Right now, this planetary energy is separating, shall I say, the goats from the sheep. And what's going to happen on December 7th, as you guys know, I've talked about it a little bit, Mars will be moving into Libra. Now, you may think, oh, that sounds not like a big deal. So what? Well, I'm going to tell you so what for all you Scorpios. Libra is in your 12th house. That means the 12th house is the place of your deep, deep, deep subconscious. Your deep, deep wounds in relationships. Libra represents partnerships and relationships. Your deep, deep wounds. And it's going to activate your deep, deep subconscious mind. And if you do not go, we've got a few weeks before December 7th. If you do not get ready and do the work you need to do to get right in your life, the Mars will go into your mind and create bad energy, if there's bad energy in there, and it'll get worse. And you will get worse mentally. It'll become an obsession. There'll be no way out, and it can be very destructive. Okay? We also have Jupiter going retrograde in Cancer, taking us deeper till March 6th, 2014, deeper into our family issues. So you're not out of the woods. You might have gotten past that Mercury retrograde and think, I made it. Nothing bad happened. I didn't have to deal with anybody. I can still be who I am and still hold on to my stuff. Well, guess what? It's coming. It's going to call you. It's going to ask you, what part do you want to play in this? Do you want to be mentally healthy? Do you want to have peace, Scorpio? Because I know you do. And the only way to get peace, and I know this is going to be hard, but I'm going to give you a couple of answers that I believe are really true. First thing you need to do is just take a look at it. Get it in the light. Don't hide it anymore. Just in your own light. I'm not talking about talking to anybody else. I don't say you have to go tell everybody anything. Look at it yourself and ask yourself, what part did I play in this wound? Now, when I say what part did I play in this wound, that's not going to be what part I played because somebody else did this, or if this wasn't the circumstances, I wouldn't have done this. No. It's over. It was wrong. This is how I participated. And I'm sorry. And I am human. And I make mistakes. and I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? If you, Scorpio, can say those words to the people that are locked in your prison with you, you will free them to also say they're sorry. You will free them to ask for forgiveness themselves. You will free them to receive your forgiveness. And if you can say those words, this is how what part I played in it. And look at that situation no longer from a young child. If you're looking at a wound from a young kid, you're going to say, yeah, but, like that little kid. How old are you now? I'm 45 years old. I'm looking at this from a 45-year-old woman. The things that hurt me, I understand where we were when we were younger, where my mindset was, where their mindset was. At times that I had inconsiderations or different things that happened, I understand now because I'm not looking at it from the wounded young girl anymore. I'm looking at it from a woman who has wisdom now. Scorpios have been, throughout the whole summer, this water trine has been trying to heal us. There's a couple of awesome things happening right now. Chiron in Pisces is moving direct. That's the healing planet for 9 months. I think 9 months. We have him. Check on that. I'm pretty sure. Oh my God. Do you know what that means? The chance to make things right is now. Don't miss this chance. Don't move into December 7th with these things still in your heart. Just be real. Hey, we're all surviving. We've all made mistakes. We're all human. We're all scared. The intimate relationship that you desperately want, the deep conversations, the truth in relationships that you desperately want, you can have now. December 7th, if you go into this transit in the right place in your heart, taking care of your own business, asking forgiveness, making things right, whatever that means. It might even mean you just let go of something and leave that person alone. You know what I mean? You just take your eyes off someone that you've got your eyes on that has wounded you, and you're just going to be in wait. And if it takes 10 years, you're going to let them go. Free them. Because when you free them, more importantly, you free yourself. Go free. Fly like the eagle. And let's ride this wave together. Neptune's going forward a couple of days, so all our brains will be clear. We have healing energies. Just go back and make things right. Make them right in your own heart and let people go. Let yourself go. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen. So good luck. I'm here. You guys can email me if you're just totally having a meltdown. Throw me an email. And I'm here. I'll be here as best I can be. And, let's do this, guys. Come on. Let's get on the right side of this track going into this next transit. And let's watch amazing things happen for our future. All right. So, good luck.
What goes around comes around. Feel it breathing down heavy on you. You made that bed you're laying on. Deeds that you have done now you can't undo. You got bones in your closet, you got ghosts in your town. Ain't no doubt, yeah, they're gonna come out. They're waiting for the sun to go down. You can't hide from your demons, feel them all looking around. You're running scared cause you know they're out there. They're waiting for the sun to go down. turn to tell on you. You got bones in your closet, you got ghosts in your town. Ain't no doubt, yeah, they're gonna come out. They're waiting for the sun to go down. You can't hide from your demons, feel them all lurking around. You're running scared cause you know they're out there. They're waiting for the sun to go down. It all stands to reason, every dog will have his day, but your day is leaving. Better hold on tight, here comes the night. You got bones in your closet, you got ghosts in your town. Ain't no doubt, yeah, they're gonna come out. They're waiting for the sun to go down.